Hey, what's up, everybody? Wade, you just tapping in for another court chat. Starting off the video, I don't really have much to say. Life has been going really well for me. I have been engaging in things that allow me to grow and develop in a multitude of ways. Mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, getting in touch with everything that is me and being able to provide that authenticity to whoever I might come in contact with. You know, one of the greatest aspects of that was, again, going through my divorce and coming to understand myself in a new light and fashion. It's funny because I interact with people that I once had confrontation with, and I often get met with mirroring, which is like a childhood tactic of manipulation people often use to reflect back at you. Sometimes I see difficult people, or I see people having difficulties mirroring what I actually am. And it's funny now. So previously, due to the nature of my upbringing, I was extremely sensitive to manipulation. Like, I knew it, I was inherently aware of it, and I got really defensive and reactive about it. Now, coming to understand and view things the way that I do, I still have that acute awareness of manipulation, but I find it slightly more encouraging than I once did, because I understand it's a plea for something that the individual might not understand themselves. And then one of my coworkers I was engaging with, I'm guilty of manipulation as well. It usually is based on a win-win outcome because I'm not coming empty-handed. I'm usually offering something first. And she just assumed by way of what I was willing to do, and it's what might appease me in regards to, me extending the benefit. Not necessarily required, but I guess this is how familiar we become. Like, she knows I don't like doing a certain task at the job, but I'm down to help out, and it's nice to have that kind of energy reciprocated. And we got to kind of laugh and enjoy that experience together while we were discussing, what manipulation actually can be. And I want to say there's a conflation between wants, needs, and desires, so wants and desires and needs. So there is a basic necessity for connection, I guess, as a human being. Like, you can be a hermit, you can master that aspect, but you're gonna be in a deep connection with yourself in the spiritual realm, I guess, in that aspect. So, wanting to be heard, understood, accepted, appreciated, desired, and validated are some of the things that wants and needs come to play with. So, bids for connection, attention, sharing that bond, not wanting to be perceived as being used. This is often the kind of dynamics you find in most relationships, really. But, I was communicating with my brother. We have this kind of family group chat, and somebody in the group chat was expressing themselves, and, one of the other people in the group chat kind of got reacted in regards to that. And it had nothing to do with either one of them, what was previously being discussed in said group chat. But they both got caught up in their own mess. So, I call the one and I'm like, yo, do you know what you're doing right now? And for me, what I was seeing, it's a bid for connection. They're in some type of way, but they might not understand how to voice what they need, or even how to articulate, or maybe even that it's a need that's happening in that moment. But I recognize what that is, having been in that situation. So I ring immediately. Yo, what's up? Pour it out. Tell me what's good. Let's get this over with. Or not let's get it over with, but let's get it out. You know what I'm saying? You obviously have something on your mind weighing on your spirit. Let's get it out. Let's go over it together. You're not alone right now. You know, while I'm in the midst of this, another person contacts me, you know, but I'm with them right now. So get them going, keep them communicating. Tell me more. And even if they fire at me, I'm not taking it personally, because I know whatever's happening has zero to do with me. This is something that I'm learning to master and take in and really kind of hone in myself, because in my mindset, these emotional resentments, these chips that we carry on our shoulder, these things that are often suppressed and not necessarily processed correctly, that's what leads to corruption. That's that real cancer. That's the real thing that's eating inside of you. It's you. Because you're holding on to these things that don't serve you. So, you know, pour it out, get it out. Let's get it all out. Give me until you got none left. And then let's see another means that you can refill your cup. If you need to repair your cup, let's focus on that, you know? So then I get in touch with the other party, and I'm like, you know, you fell for it, right? Hook, line, and sinker. And it's not necessarily your fault. This is a lot of things that go on in relationships of kind of any kind. And you might not be aware of it, because the kicker is that you're not a trained psychologist. Neither were your parents. Probably your partner isn't, neither were their parents, and this is what, you know, this generational kind of trauma is we're carrying burdens that were given to them by people carrying burdens, but that were given to them by people carrying burdens. So like, everybody's got to feel, nobody knows why, or they know why, but they never really got to process it out, because you might have to forgive and let go, and then that would leave you responsible for some poor choices that you made despite how you were feeling. You know, people harbor that regret, but they don't want to acknowledge that it was their choice. It was the fault of somebody else. It was the cause of somebody else, because I felt this way and I chose to act out in this manner. Happens a lot, more than you understand. For anybody that's seen the Boondocks, nigga moments, right? Rash decisions made in a time of turmoil. It's unfortunate. But anyway, I'm discussing the other party, because in his mind he wants to help. He's trying to help. He's trying to rationalize with somebody that's not being rational. But that's the problem. If you see it when you know it, if you really want to help, let him let it out. You're not going to stop it, but you can probably help speed up the process. Give me all that shit. Give me all. Tell me more. Give me the rest of what you got to give from this, because you need to get as much of this out as possible. And sometimes having that sympathetic ear will mean a lot. Pour out. Pour all of this out. I'm hearing all of it, baby. Even if you want to take shots and fire at me, I'm bulletproof right now. You can't hurt me. You know what I mean? So telling him that, he's like, dang, you're right. But who's ever given them this kind of guidance? I didn't get this kind of guidance. I had to suffer an immense amount of pain to receive this level, and then I had to sort it out. I have to flow through it. I have to seek knowledge, information, and understanding of me. But then once you understand that, bro, everybody else is easy. For me, everybody's a kid. Because that's what you revert back to in your most primitive states, man. That's probably when you're the most fresh, when you're the best. That's probably the monster that's really inside of you that's keeping you going, but you're suppressing it because you want to adult, right? I need to be better than that. Nah. You still petty. You still arrogant. You still got ego. You still on some BS until you catch yourself. And you can be humble a little bit. Humble brags. Gotta love it. But yeah, man, like, even communicating with my dad, like, this is the things that were going on. This is what's occurring. You know, and then I broke down some stuff about his relationship, kind of with my mom, and like maybe things that he wasn't aware that he was dealing with. Because like now that I have this kind of basic understanding, again, the emotion of it, it's clear to see. The manipulation is clear to see. And why? It's this, it feels like time traveling and almost astral projecting. Because they say that, you know, women will remember the thing you said 6 years ago, Monday at 5:23 p.m., because there's an emotion attached behind it. You're traveling back in time to that moment. So if you can master that shit, you can travel the plane of emotion and kind of figure out what people are doing. You see it. It makes it, once you get it, it makes complete and utter sense. At least to me. That's what it feels like. That's what I see. And it's very easy to understand. Because you get the feel. Put yourself in their shoes. How would you feel? I know, give me a little bit about the story, I'll fill in the gaps. It's emotion. We're relatively, we all are one even though we're all individuals. This is why we need each other. It's crazy, but that's just a little bit to touch on that. I know it's kind of sporadic and all over the place. I didn't really have much to say, but I felt like sharing. Be aware of that. The better you understand yourself, the better you'll see other people. And meeting needs, providing, setting up a win-win, because if you come with a hand offering, they're more willing to accept, you know, that in exchange. If you come with an empty hand begging, that's different. Be mindful of that. Ouija's out.